Hello, everybody. Welcome to channel Joshua Solomon. It's your host, Joshua Solomon. Just got back straight out of theater after seeing The Creator 2023. Um, I'm going to get the director's name and the cast on my phone real quick. Hope everyone's doing good. As always, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps tremendously. Right off the bat, I gotta tell you, I really enjoyed this film. I think I liked this more than I thought I was going to. I went into with my expectations moderate, but I came out there surprisingly impressed. I mean, I knew it was gonna be good because I loved Rogue One, but I did not think it was gonna be as good as it ended up being. I think this director's best uh, project he's made, and it's his own like story, his own IP. I think it's starring Gima Gima Chan as Maya and John Day Washington as Joshua, Ken Watanabe as Haran, Madeline Una Voiles as Alfie, Amar Chadaha Patel as Simulants, Sturgill Simpson Drew, Allison Janney, Colin Hall. I think she did a great job as like that general lady. She was great. Um, this cast is Ralph Ensign as Andrews, as a like I think actual like the actual general, like the main boss. I don't know the jargon, military jargon. I'm not educated well enough on that, but yes, this film, The Creator, 2023 action thriller, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Just got out of an AMC showing for this. I thought this was a excellent film. It had me emotional many times. The ending definitely had me in tears. Um, I think the acting was great all around by everybody. The soundtrack is not like the greatest soundtrack of all time. Like the OP, or not the OP, or the original soundtrack, like the actual music for the film, is not like the greatest sound of music, but like the licensed music that they have in there, like Radiohead, that was one of the best. That I love that. Like when I'm not gonna spoil it yet, but well, it's a spoiler. I'll just talk. It's spoilers. My reviews are always spoilers. But if you haven't seen it yet, watch the movie before you watch anybody's review. That's another thing. Go out and watch a movie for yourself. Um, yeah, like they play Radiohead in its right place. That song just hits really epic in the beginning. This director is amazing. I can't believe he's not directed Stars films. Um, I think this is like a this type of movie I've always wanted. Like, cause I have loved Blade Runner, but I always thought Blade Runner was a little too slow for me. But I love the Blade Runner world and the aesthetic of Blade Runner, like cyberpunk kind of stuff. And hopefully this film like ignites this new era of, but I mean good cyberpunk films. I'm not talking about like all rip-offs of people like, oh well, that looks good, and that let's just copy and paste that one. No, I mean like I want good cinema. Um, and this is like I feel like he actually took his time. I'm gonna get the director's name real quick. Pay my due diligence. Um, Yeah, I was just I just got out of here. I'm still processing the movie. Uh, I highly recommend you guys go see it. It's a good film. I really enjoyed it. Give me 1 second. Gareth Edwards, yes. Um, yes. See, Gareth Edwards made Rogue One. I really liked Rogue One. Um, I really loved Rogue One. I thought that was a great film. Very, very unfortunate that they stopped using his talents in Star Wars and have people like J.J. Abrams and Ryan Johnson. I would have rather had Gareth Edwards direct all three of the Star Wars films. He's the best director that has walked into Disney Star Wars, and they just didn't even use it. I think they even didn't even let him finish the film. They had some other director come in, and I think now I realize all the bad parts of Rogue One. I think was because of that other director. Because this film, everything in this film is perfect. Everything in this film is gorgeous. Everything, the writing, the directing, the cinematography, the everything, the acting, the everything is perfect. Gareth Edwards showed it's that he has a vision for cinema, and that's why when I was watching this, I was sitting next to my mom, and I even leaned next to her. And I told her like, "This is Star Wars. This is what Star Wars should feel like: epic, emotional, romantic too. Have romance in there too. Star Wars doesn't have no romance anymore. There's no love story anymore. It's just droids and random shits going on. It's just like, dude, and you have strong female characters in this, but we don't need to make the male characters stupid. See, this is a good lesson to the writers and these modern directors that you don't need to bash men in cinema to build up women. You could just make both genders look good in cinema. That's good writing. That's when you have a good writer. It's like a writer is like, I can write women and men realistically. I'm not gonna just make all the men dumbasses and all the women superheroes. This is like, no. Gareth Edwards is a breath of fresh air. Honestly, it was a breath of fresh air watching this film. You know, I truly, I think I love the references to like Vietnam films, even using I think filters like old 70 camera filters and stuff. To really make you feel you're watching an old film, but even though it's taking place in the future, 2060 something. Um, I love the emotional parts in it. There's a lot of really violent scenes, but it's done tastefully and it keeps its PG-13 rating. I thought they pulled all the violence good. Like I felt like there was a lot of gritty violence. I think there's good jokes in it. The jokes weren't annoying. People were talking about the scene where the dog grabs a bomb. Yes, it's kind of far fetched, it's silly, but it's charming because it doesn't deflate the actual narrative of the story. It's almost like a levity moment to make the audience happy and like laugh for a minute. That's something Star Wars used to do. Like there are so many silly moments in Star Wars compared to dark moments in Star Wars. Like this director, Gareth Edwards, he's the perfect person to lead Star Wars projects. Like not just one, but a whole trilogy of films. He's the one that needs to lead that because he knows how to be funny, serious, romantic, emotional. He hits all these check marks. You know, and he's telling a story that all of us as human beings could relate to: life and death, AI, things that we all could relate to, not just certain people from San Francisco. you know, their perspective on life. No, it's everyone around the world. I love how you have, and it's really diverse. You have black actors, Indian actors, Oriental actors, Hispanic actors, white Caucasian actors. You know, you have all these different people mingling together, and it feels so like a anime too, like a anime at times. That it's just like it just blends perfectly. You know, and I really respected this film. I think this was I would say I'm not sure if it's yet my favorite film of the year yet. I have to kind of process it and maybe see a couple more times to really see if it really holds up after two more viewings. Because I still need to process the film, But from my first viewing, I would say I have more. I think I had a better time watching this for the first time than Oppenheimer. I think this movie does have a length problem still. It's not 3 hours long though, like Oppenheimer, but it does. I think there's certain things like I don't know. I think that there's certain elements of the story that could have been pulled back a little bit, you know. But maybe it's just that it's like I have to see it again to process it. Because Oppenheimer, I saw 5 times in theaters, and the fifth time I actually really enjoyed all of it. I think this year we have been gifted and privileged to have had some great actual cinema than just like generic run of the mill films. Like these are films that you have to go watch a couple of times to really process, because they're not just something you could just walk in like and be like, oh, that's good. And I mean, I think Creator really is something special. I think this is probably one, if not the best movie, one of the best movies of the year. Definitely Oppenheimer and this are on the top. John Wick for me this year so far has been John Wick, Oppenheimer, and The Creator so far. These have been the films that really like blow me away, and I really don't think we unless no the next one is Napoleon. We'll see what Napoleon is. I'm looking for Napoleon, but yeah, you know I'm gonna wrap it up. I might give another review for this, but that's pretty much how I feel about it right now. I just want to get my thoughts out there. This was a great film. If I have to give this a rating, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's not perfect. I think it does have issues with pacing at times, and I think it's a little too long. I think that some things could have been cut. I think the story could have been rearranged a little bit to shorten it or kind of get to the point a little faster. Because I think it kind of stretched the big. I think the weakest problem with this film is that it feels a tad bit too long, you know, and I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's the first time watching it, and it's a lot of stuff for me to digest mentally. And like I said, Oppenheimer, I was saying that that movie's long, and I didn't like the ending of that. But after the fifth time watching it, I appreciated it more and more. And I think that maybe this is that film. Either it could be that I appreciate it, or I start noticing things I don't like about it. But I think from first time watching it, I really liked it. So yeah, 9 out of 10. This is one of the greatest films of this year so far. I highly recommend you watch it. Um, Bring friends, family, a date. This is a good film for like a group of people or a date. Um, I think it's relatable for everybody. I think it's definitely uh, resonates more in our modern era, especially with AI and the future of AI. I think this is an interesting take on the threat of AI because it doesn't make AI look bad necessarily. It balances our evil and AI's evil, and it doesn't make. It's no villain. It's very in the middle, on its narrative. It's not saying AI is bad because you feel sorry. There's times where I'm crying for AI machines as much as I'm crying for human beings dying. And I think that's never really been done in a film before. And that's another reason why I give this film credit, because the writing really brought us a story that we haven't seen before, which is we're treating the AI machines. We've done this I think before, but not like how he did it, in a way he executed it. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up, make it short and sweet. 9 out of 10, highly recommend it. Please like and subscribe; it helps the channel tremendously. And as always, may the force be with you. Peace and out.